Good morning, Black America. Grand Rising, beloved. I'm Crypto Stock Markets, and I'm here to turn digital sense into generational sense. Now let's unpack it. Bitcoin just pushed up near 75K, and for a moment, people thought we were back. They thought the bottom was in. They thought the bull market had quietly started again. But then the Fed stepped in, and the entire tone of the market shifted. So now the real question is, did the market just break out? Or did it just expose itself? Because if you move like it was a bull market, you might have just walked straight into a trap. Bitcoin ran up near 75K and everybody got excited. But the moment the Fed spoke, the market pulled back. That wasn't strength. That was a whole lot of action. And if price can't hold with billions flowing in, that tells you the system is not ready to move yet. And if you've been paying attention, you already know. I told you, don't get caught in a bull trap. Let's break down what actually happened. We had Bitcoin moving up. We had ETF money still flowing in, over $1 billion. We had sentiment starting to flip bullish. But at the same time, inflation came in hotter than expected. Oil prices started climbing. The Fed held rates steady and stayed cautious. The broader market started showing hesitation. Now pause right there, because this is where most people get it confused. They get it all twisted. They see prices go up and they assume strength, but the system doesn't move off emotion. It moves off liquidity. And right now, liquidity is tight. So when you see price goes up, money flowing in, but price not holding, that's not confirmation, that's the pressure. And here's another layer people are missing. The crypto market just shed billions in value. At the same time, traders are pulling back expectations for any spring rally. Institutions are lowering targets. Even major players are saying, slow down. So now you got to ask yourself, if money is coming in, but price is not responding the way it should, what does that really mean? It means the market is not ready to sustain upside yet. It means something underneath is holding it back. And let me unpack that part for you. If you're asking the question, are we back in a bull market? The answer is simple. No. Not if you understand the cycle. Let's bring structure into this. Bitcoin moves in 4-year cycles every single time. And inside that cycle, there's always a bear phase that shows up about 15 to 18 months before the Bitcoin halving. That's not my opinion. That's the pattern. Let me say this again. Bitcoin runs in 4-year cycles, and historically, the bear phase shows up 15 to 18 months before the halving. So when you see price pop and people scream, we back, you got to understand, that's all emotion. The cycle hasn't finished doing what it always does. So when I say we are still in a bear market, I'm not guessing. I'm reading the system. I'm paying attention to history. And based on that system, the windows we're watching for a real bottom is October through April. That's the range where things typically reset. Now here's where we tie everything together. Look at what's happening across the board. Crypto companies are laying people off. Projects are trimming down and cutting costs. Regulators are stepping in and tightening control. Entire regions are removing crypto firms from operation. Institutions are cautious, not aggressive. That's contraction, that's preparation. And here's the part you need to understand. Even with ETF inflows, even with all this talk about adoption, price is still struggling. Why? Because the macro environment is not aligned yet. The system always leaves clues. And right now, the clues are so loud. This is not a market where you chase. This is not a market where you over leverage. This is not a market where you move off hype. This is a market where you position. So here's what I want you watching going forward. Watch how Bitcoin reacts to continued inflows. If money keeps coming in but price stays weak, that's a signal. Watch the Fed. Any shift in tone toward easing changes everything. Watch inflation and oil, because those two right there control pressure. And most importantly, watch the builders, because in every bear market, while everybody else is distracted, the real work is being done. That's where future winners are created. Let me leave you with this. The market didn't go up because it was strong. It went up because people wanted it to be strong. And the moment reality showed up, the move faded. So don't get emotional with this market. Get disciplined, because bear markets don't reward excitement. They reward patience. And what happens next is going to separate the people who got position from the people who just got entertained. Take care, loved ones. I'm Crypto Stock Markets, and I'll get up with y'all tomorrow.